everyone, this is Rose from Untwist Your Stitches, my Flosstube channel about cross stitch, sewing, crocheting, and all other crafting endeavors that I do. Today is November 6th, 2025, and I am on Flosstube number 38. For those of you who are subscribers, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a good day. For anybody new that is just finding me, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see and that there's some fun stuff that you can learn or be inspired by or whatever it is that you're here for. If you could hit the like button just so that YouTube realizes that I have subscribers and people that are coming here and enjoying my content, that would be great. If you find something fun that you enjoy seeing, would you please subscribe, because that makes it even better for YouTube to put me out there and show everybody what I'm doing. I am going to start today with some fully hold on. I have a different acronym for certain projects that I do, and it is STAFF, S-T-A-F-F, and that means start and fully finished. Some other YouTubers I've noticed are using that acronym also, but I kind of don't see it a whole lot. Some people just say FFO, which is fully finished object. I have one of those. I also have an FO, which is a finished object, which means that the stitching has been done, but it's not ready to display yet. So, excuse me. Let's get started on some fun today. So the first one I'm going to show you is my sister's project. I've done this once before, and I will pop a picture in of the one I did for my oldest sister, and I've sent that to her for her birthday, which was in August. This is for my second sister. Her birthday is in November. And I've done the same pattern, but I've made changes in it to be more focused towards her. So this is what I've done for her. The differences you'll notice is the flowers and the scrolling around the bottom here are done in more of a peach color, and that's because that is her favorite color. It is finished on this little tripod so that it can sit on her counter, her bookshelf, whatever it is. And I also have a couple other little gifts that I'm going to send with her for her birthday. So that is the gift for my sister. I'm doing my video now so I can get this in the mail so it gets to her in time for her birthday. The other thing that I have, was it a staff? I don't think this was a staff. I think I showed you part of this. No, it wasn't. This was just a fully finished. And it is my November flower. It is the Wild Rose from Maurer-Stroh. It's a freebie, and I do believe they're still on her site, so you can go and look for these flowers. This is my November option, and the fabric that it's stitched on is 14 count Goldenrod by Charles Craft. And it goes, you saw it in my opening video with the perpetual calendar that I filmed that a couple days ago because I was in the process of cleaning and I had just gotten everything set out and whatnot. So I did the filming for the opening credits at that time. The next thing I have is just an FO. And I am so happy to have this done. It looks awesome. It is my Zucca by Alessandra, Adelaide. It is stitched on 28 count Rusty Evenweave. And I will pop a couple pictures in because what I do for my stitching is I take a project and I work on it from Sunday to Saturday. So I give it a full week's worth of time. Well, I ran out of Weeks Dye Works White Lightning, which is the main color that I'm using in this project. And so I had to wait and order it from 123 Stitch so that I could finish it. So then I had to set this aside and pull something else out to work on. What did I do? I pulled out my February sampler, which is a combination of these two charts put together to make a sampler that I saw these two charts and I liked components from each one of them. So then I put them all together in order to make one complete project. So I pulled that out and I worked on it for 2 days, and I once again ran out of floss. This color on the outside edge here that makes the lace is a Roxy Floss Co. Snow Cone. It was one of the one-of-a-kind flosses that I got in my club membership. Well, I was kind of freaking out a little bit because I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if I even can find another skein, words today, another skein. So I wrote to Roxy Floss Co. and I got a response back, and they said they'd go look. And at first they couldn't find it. And then I thought, oh, this is terrible. A couple days later, they came back and they said, hey, we've got 2 flosses or 2 skeins left. Would you like one? I said, I would like both of them because this is really a fun thread to work with. So I bought both of those, and I had to wait because they are in Canada, so it takes a little bit extra time. So I only got 2 days to work on this and had to set it aside and come back to it. So I did that. I set everything aside. I pulled out another project. I worked on it for a little while. And then the next week came around. So that was when I worked on my Heaven and Earth design, which I will show you in a little while. Then when I finished that at the beginning of this week, the beginning of November, I decided, look, I've got these 2 projects that are so close to being finished. I am going to pull them out and I am going to finish them up because I had received both of the flosses and I was able to do that. So both of these, one was finished on the 4th and one was finished on the 5th. So they both are fully finishes from having been set aside and now pulled out. So now I'm going to pull another quick little project to finish out the rest of this week and then start in on something new on Sunday. So those are all of my staff, start and fully finish, FFO, fully finish, and FO, finish that I have today for cross stitch. But I also have some sewing that I want you to see. I told you about this in one of my other videos. There's a quilt shop here in town that I go to, and I stitch one evening a month, and it's just a fun time when we get together and just work on whatever we want and just have some fun. Well, they have a program where foster kids are given a quilt when they are first put into the system. And it's something that they can hold on to that is specifically for them, that they can have whenever they want. And it's just a security for them. So this group has gotten together, and you can either complete the entire quilt if that's what you want to do, or if you want to, you can just do the quilt top and then you hand it off to the shop. They hand it to somebody that will do the quilt. Well, the shop does the quilting. That's their portion of their gift to this program. And then somebody else will do the binding. So I had some scrap fabric that had been sitting around for a while, and I thought, you know what? I am going to put that together and do another quilt top. So I'm going to stand up and show you what I made. And I did it in these colors because it will work for either a boy or a girl. You know, the colors are very neutral. So no matter who gets it, they are going to be comfortable with it. And this is just, you know, it's all just scrap. And we do it kind of as a, not a full queen size or not a double, but a twin bed size, so that it's not too big, and it's just something that the kids are allowed to keep, and it is theirs, and it is, you know, wherever they go, they have something that they can take along, and they're usually not going to grow out of it. They'll be able to take it for several years. So that is, I guess I call it a finish because it's the finish of what I am going to do, but it'll go to the shop, they'll quilt it, and then one of the other ladies will bind it. I had a little bit of an interruption and had to take a phone call, but I'm back, and we'll continue on. Last month, you saw that I had made a hedgehog for my granddaughter. And from that same company, there are other animal characters that you can sew. And I decided to do Mickey Mouse. And this is my version of Mr. Moose. Now, I made a small mistake when I was putting his antlers on. The directions are a little bit vague in certain areas. So when I put him on and then sewed the rest of his face, it turns out that I put them on the wrong direction. They actually should go on the other way, and then they would stick out here farther. But I had gone far enough that I wasn't really interested in tearing him completely apart and maybe having to redo the antlers altogether. So because this is just a fun little project for myself, I just left it as is. They suggest using the craft eyes. I've got a bunch of different beads that I can pick from, or buttons, and so I just chose to use some from my stash. In his feet, I used a little bit of these plastic pellets, and it gives him a little bit of weight so that, you know, he's pretty sturdy when you stand him up, and then packed him full of polyfill to give him his structure. And that is my second finished sewing project. So that was really fun and had a good time with him. I'm not sure if I will be giving that to my granddaughter or what exactly is going to happen with him. But for now, he is done. Oh, and all of the fabric that I used on him is just stuff that is in my stash that is little scrap pieces that I keep because you never know when you're going to need just a small amount of something, and there it was. And I think he turned out real cute. So now let's get into whips. Well, because of all the finishes I had this month, you've seen a lot of what I've worked on. The one that you have not seen is my Heaven and Earth Christmas Cottage. It is artwork by Dona Gelsinger and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I had a page finish, which normally I stop and I take it out of the Q-snap and I snap a quick picture when I finished a page. Well, I don't know what was going on for sure. I intended to do that, but then after I got going on the following page, I realized, oops, haven't done that. So I don't have a picture of the page finish, but you know, it is what it is. And I got a lot done on this. I'm so excited. It's getting so close. I know that I will be able to finish this next year as I have it planned. But again, I'm going to have to stand up so that I can show you this because it is rather large. And so there you go. And the area that I worked on was right down here where his scarf is. The edge of the page, this right here is the edge of the previous page. And then all of this through here is the next page that I'm working on. And I am just really happy with how this is going. And the next time I pick it up, I'm sure I can finish that page because this bottom section down here under there to go to here for this page is all of his, is all the snow portion of the snowman. So that'll go really quick because it's all the same color. There's not a whole lot of color changes. There's a few to give it kind of definition, but not nearly as much as what was in that scarf. So yeah, I got my Heaven and Earth week done. And like I said, I finished one page and moved on to the next. So it's really coming along super good. Super. And because I finished so much, no, I'm not going to do that. The next thing I'm going to show you is Too Tall Stitchers has a Big Girl Panties challenge. And what it is you're supposed to pick something, either a whip or a new project or something that you've been putting off because you just don't feel like you can do it. So the Big Girl Challenge started on October 20th. And what I chose to pull out, hold please. Okay, sorry about that. My tablet was starting to run out of battery and I needed to plug it in so it didn't just completely go away. So for my Big Girl Challenge, I chose to start on a hardanger project. I love the way hardanger looks. It is beautiful. And it just, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's so elegant. And the stitching part doesn't scare me. What scares me is when I finally get to the part where I'm going to have to cut. And this is a Jade Designs. And she is on Flosstube. She is part of Floss Paper Scissors. She's the mom of that group. And she has reached out and said, hey, if you need some moral support or just some encouragement or some suggestions, just reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you out, which is great. I love that. But this is how far I got. It was a complete kit. I bought it from Welcome Stitchery. And the owner of Welcome Stitchery is Justine. She bought up all of... Julie retired a couple years ago now. And she decided that she was going to get rid of all of her stock. So she's friends with Justine from Welcome Stitchery, who also has a floss tube, if you're interested. And she bought all of her product and has it in her store so that she can sell it. So if you're looking for anything that that you think that you really want to get that may have been a Jade design pattern, contact Justine, and she may or may not be able to get it. If she can't get it, then she will let you know, but she's got all of the leftover stock from Julie. Okay, so that was my one-day challenge work that I did on the Big Girl Panties challenge, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. I mean, like I said, I'm not worried about the stitching part of it. What really worries me and what I need to put my Big Girl Panties on for is the cutting portion, and that, of course, will come later. So then, I have a couple of new starts. One was this, and the reason that I started this is because of the two projects that I ran out of thread with, and I needed something to finish out that week, so I've been wanting to get this started. And it is a Design Works kit that I've had for a while. And yeah, this is the top. So this is how far I have gotten on it. Let me see if that helps to put... There we go. I am using... Let me get my notes out. It is Stardust Linen by the Primitive Hare, 30 count. The colors that I'm using, I'm changing them up. If you notice in the pattern, the background color for the cross is this gold. Well, I want the background color of my cross to be green. So I have chosen $6.99 because that's my favorite green. And then the Celtic knot design on the front, I'm using the colors that they called for. And then there'll be a couple of other differences once I get farther in. But I'm going to finish the entire cross first, and then I'll do whatever colors I think will go with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the red here. It's not really it's not a color I really care for that came with the kit. So I'm probably going to change that too, but I haven't decided yet what color I'm going to use for that. So it's going to be a when I get to it decision. But this is 2 days worth of work, and I think I did pretty good. It's going along. The other thing that I started, and this was one that I knew I was going to start, and I have, I'm going to have to put it in the description because I forgot to write it down in my notes. I've got a hashtag for it, and I can't remember what it is. But a lot of people are stitching this one. It's the Halloween Quaker by Lila Studios. And my version is on this. This is a 32 count Jade linen by Picture This Plus. And I am doing my own colors. Most of my Halloween decorations are done in green. So that is the theme that's going to go throughout here. This first big motif, which is up in the corner, right here, page 1. The variegated color is from Jay's Dye Works, I think is the name of it. They're down in Australia, and the color is Aussie Gold. Now these ones here, these 4, are again, I'm using the $6.99 because that is my favorite green, and I thought it went well with that. Because I was going to do the entire motif in the Aussie gold color, but I ran out of it. I don't know what is going on with me running out of my over dyes, but I did. So I was able to get this entire part and then just these small little corner pieces, and I think it turned out okay. The gray motif right here, that is done in Classic Colorworks Cauldron, which I thought was very appropriate for a Halloween design. And then the hat, I have changed to a black hat. And these colors in here, the stripes and these dots, are E990, which is a fluorescent green, DMC, fluorescent green. The strap is S676, which is a satin DMC. And the little buckle in the center is Madeira. I think it's called Rust. Madeira Glisten Gloss metallic, and all of the other is just 310 DMC. So that's how far I got. Not quite a full page, but there's a lot of stitching in these motifs, and it was just as 1 week's worth of work. And you know, when as some of you might know, when you're changing the colors, sometimes it cuts into your time because you got to make sure that what you're doing is going to work with the design. So that is what I did with that. So I have those 2 new starts. I have all of those finishes, and I've got 1 whip in progress. So my plans for this month and December is I'm not going to do any more new starts. I'm going to work on all of the stuff that I have that are whips until December 31st. And once I get to December 31st, what I'm going to do is all of the bags that I have, because I normally have about 12 projects on the go, so that I have a good rotation and a good amount of variety for my stitching. Excuse me. So There'll be a new pumpkin coming out. There will be a new small coming out because I finished the February sampler. There'll be another new flower coming out. Although the flower may have to be, the flower is going to have to be started before the 31st because I need it for my calendar. I need a December flower for my calendar. So that one will have to come out and get worked on before. And then the project I did for my sister, there will be a new start for that. So all of those, I am going to wait until December 31st. And there's a floss tuber that does a 12 by 12. And you start at noon on December 31st. And every hour you change projects so that you have 12 new starts for January. And I'm also going to do a blessing sampler. And that will be my last new start on December 31st so that it will roll into 2026. And what you do is you start it. So I'll start mine on midnight, New Year's Eve. And that will be my new project and my sampler, my blessing sampler for 2026. And I'll show you how I'm kitting those up probably in December so that you have an idea, because I don't have all of them kitted up yet. And I want to do all of those at the same time. So those are my plans for November and December. I have a few things that have come in that when I had to order my floss to finish Zucca, I also threw a couple extra things in my 1, 2, 3 basket. And I also have my fabric of the month from Fiberlicious, and we'll do that one first. So Fiberlicious, October's fabric, I get the 32 count linen, and it looks like this. It is called Burnt Sienna. Yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. The coloring today is pretty much spot on. So that is my fabric of the month. When I ordered my floss, I also, these are all for my Halloween Quaker. I'm going to add the green 6.99 metallic. I don't normally work with DMC metallics, but I really want to put a sparkle into it, and this seemed like the perfect one. I also got some of the glow in the dark. There's some ghosts and some skeletons on the Quaker. So I'm going to use this floss to do those because I think that glow in the dark would be really fun. These were all on sale, and they're also glow in the dark. So you may see some of these added to the Quaker project. There's white. There's just numbers. This is kind of an ecru. This is a light blue, light pink, and light green. And all of those are supposed to be glow in the dark. I haven't tested them yet, but I hope to soon. This is called the Willow Box, And it is a Chantel 141. And it makes it, when you put it together, it becomes a cube. And what I want to do is have a cup, 4 smalls, maybe 6. Well, not 6. I'd have to do 5 because I don't want to put one on the bottom, but one on the top and one on each of the 4 sides so that it can be turned on the shelf. And so I'm going to do some smalls on that. And I think it's going to be snowmen because I have a bunch of snowmen that I want to work up that are small. I found this one, which I think is super cute. Ebenezer. I love A Christmas Carol. It's one of my favorite things. There is this drum, sleigh bell, and I want to do it as a drum. So that one is going to be, because we're turning 250 years old next year, I'm getting some more small patriotics. So there's this one from Heart and Hand. Kitty and Me Designs has a few that are really cool. I thought that one would be pretty. And then there is this eagle. And he looks very, very intimidating. He looks a little more friendly, but this one looks very intimidating. That look on his face. But both of those will be for my patriotic wall. So those are all of my purchases. I call them my postal prizes because up here in Idaho, I don't have an LNS, so I can't go and touch and feel and all those kinds of things. So most of my items are bought off 123 Stitch. And they have great, great customer service and super fast delivery. Okay, so the last thing I have to share with you is some what I call name dropping, and that is fellow floss tubers that I recommend to my watchers that I have either recently found or have watched over the years that I've been coming to Flosstube for my entertainment. And I have 3 that are brand new to me, and they're actually pretty new to Flosstube as well. The first one is Bella Rose Needleworker, and her name is Jeanette. She has 5 current videos, but she had been doing videos with a friend of hers, and I can't remember what she said the name of her previous Flosstube was. But you can go and look at her videos and catch up with her quite quickly because she only has 5 videos. And they're pretty quick, but she does some really nice work. Really nice work. Another one is Born to Stitch. This is a Flosstube channel as well as a in-person store in New Jersey. The 2 ladies that are on there are Amy and Ida. And they had a real fun finishing parade. I think it was a finishing parade that they just did, their most recent one. They have 13 current videos. And she talks about her stitching, but also about her store and things like that. And then the final one I have for you is called Laura's Craft Room. And obviously her name is Laura. She has 1 video out, but she did a really good job. She is going to be a natural for Flosstube. I think that she will be one that you will enjoy watching throughout the years. So those are the things that I have to share with you. I hope that you've enjoyed my finishes. I hope you're inspired by some of my stitching. and that your stitching brings you happiness and mental health, as it does for me, because that's what I use my stitching for, is for relaxation and enjoyment and to create some beautiful things to share with the world. So we will see you in a month, the first part of December. I don't know if I'll be going to the Jingle Bell or not. I know the tickets are available right now, and a lot of people are super excited about some of the classes. So if you're interested in that, go over to Lindy Stitches and have a look at what is available. And I will see you the first part of December. Happy stitching. Bye.